So here, now I am just going to show the same thing with a programmatical overview. Just observe here. So you can look at, first we are going to add validator dependency. I'm just deleting to show from beginning. Step number 1, right click on the project, microservice application, Spring, add starter. You need to select validation. Click on next button, pm.xml and finish button. Okay, so here validation API is given by Sun and implemented by Hibernate validator API. Okay, so that you can use by adding like Spring Boot starter validation. It will give both Sun API and Hibernate validation completely here. So when you add this dependency, you can cross check control plus mouse click. Control plus mouse click. It is internally using, okay, that's actually Hibernate validator. Okay, so it's using internally Hibernate validator. It's like specification and implementation. Okay, so why this Hibernate validator is used? To validate input data, okay, before processing operations. Like you want to perform insert or update, okay, so you want to perform these operations here, okay, so validator will going to be validate the data, input data, okay, not output or delete, not for select or delete here, insert or update you want to do here. So there are annotations given by validation API. Okay, this you can add to project. Add this to your project. How to add? Right click on project. Okay, Spring starter. Okay, that's actually here. Yeah, you have to right click on microservice, employee service project here. Spring add starter. Add starter. Select validation. Okay, next button. Choose pom.xml and finish button. Or else you can add manually. Okay, you can add manually in the pom.xml. Okay, so if you add here, open the entity class, and I'm just adding one by one annotation here. Okay, the first one is actually @ not null. Look at the package name. It's a Java x.validation.constraints. Okay, package name is given here. So this is a package name. This package name actually contains annotations. So here we are going to apply annotations one by one. At the rate not null. At the rate not null, no null values are allowed. Okay, it should not be null. If you want to mention the message, then you can write some message is equals to, okay, employee name must not be null, like here. Employee name, okay, it's actually string. Not null, you can apply for any data type. For any data type, you can add. Okay, all wrapper. For example, salary should not be null. Just I'm writing here esal. Just I'm writing here. Okay, not null. Employee sal must not be null. Like this, we can write. Okay, here we can even apply not null to gender, not null to department. Address can be null, you want, don't apply. Not null can be applied to any field where exactly you want. And especially for string, we can apply two things. Especially for string, we can apply size and pattern. Yesterday we discussed, I'm just giving same notes here. Okay. Primitive can never be null, right? Primitive is going to get 0, 0.0. So we should not use for primitives. We should use for wrapper classes or any data type non-primitives. Okay, it should not be primitives here. You can use it for any data type. Size is applicable for string type. For example, I'm writing address not null, and address I'm writing size. Okay, minimum, okay, 10 characters, maximum 100 characters I'm writing here like this. Okay, including space characters here. Okay, so here this one, min and max we can apply size. There will be pattern if you are using email pattern. Okay, something like here, mobile number pattern, Aadhaar pattern. We'll be having different patterns here. Okay, so here you can use different annotations. You can use different annotations here. Okay, so for employee name, I'm just mentioning @ pattern. Okay, pattern, I'm just mentioning a regular expression that's actually A to Z. Okay, I'm just mentioning 2 to 4. For example, just I'm mentioning it's actually 4 to 15 characters, 12 characters I'm just writing. Okay, so here there is a concept called regular expression. It's a pattern. You can see the symbols allowed, all the different types of patterns. ABC means only A or B or C allowed, not okay, A to Z and small a to Z, A to D and M to P, A to Z and D, E, F words also. Okay, A to Z but not B and C, A to Z but not M and P. Okay, dot indicates any character, \D indicates only digit, capital D indicates other than numbers. White space character, tab, new line, backspace, form feed, carrier return. Any kind of white space character, space, tab space, new line, back button, also one type of space. Okay, form field and carrier return. Okay, so here white space. Okay, so here word character, non-word character, like you can use this. Okay, these are actually Java representations here. Okay, lot of representations are there, you can just see. Okay, so you can just search with the pattern API in Java. That's a string concept. Search in the Google, it's possible. Pattern API in Java using strings. You can see the meaning of all. Okay, if you remember on starting there's level 2 project, I explained pattern API. Okay, there's by using jQuery. Here also same symbols. Okay, pattern is concept is universal, not only specific to Java, but in Java we have to write some code internally. Okay, so patterns applicable for email, mobile, Aadhaar and all here. Okay, we are just writing here. Next one. In case of only double representations, that's actually number representation, we can write something like a min and max. Okay, we can write a decimal min in case of something like here, decimal data types here. Okay, so we are just writing minimum salary should be 1, maximum salary. Okay, of course that's not required maximum. You can have any amount if you want here. Generally, if you take for example employee age, it's actually salary. If it is a employee age, minimum we are going. So minimum and maximum we can mention here. Okay, that's actually here values we can mention. Minimum. Okay, so that's actually 2, maximum 200, like 2000 here. Okay, that's your interest. We generally don't mention max in case of salary. Minimum 1. It cannot be 0 and negative value like this we can write. Min max you can apply. Okay, min and max you can apply for number types. So this is going to become .0 in case of double. It is going to become .0 in case of double. Okay, that is only change here. Look at here what it is going to represent. For example, you take EMP age. Okay, EMP age is actually int type or integer type, whatever you mention here. Minimum employee should be 18. Just a condition I'm keeping here. Maximum employee should be in India, it's actually 60. Later they are going to return or 62. Okay, like this example, you can just apply min max. Okay, so here it's all string types, you can apply patterns. Okay, in case of Boolean variable comes, Boolean some XYZ variable comes, what we can write here? Are you expecting this value? Expected value is true as input, then we have to write only trues are allowed. Assert true. We have to write. No, I'm expecting value even false also, assert false. Any one you write it. Okay, like this. Just I'm writing like this. If you don't write anything, any value is taken. Okay, so in the future we are going to use them. Just I'm using data type. Date of birth. Date of birth must be past value. Then how can we write here? By writing one annotation @past. Okay, date of expiry will be there. Date of expiry. Okay, must be future date. Okay, then we are going to write here @future. Like this annotations are there. So this one, I have posted one document also, it seems. In Hibernate annotations, okay, at the end, almost in the end of the document, okay, you can find annotations here, validation annotations. Okay, these are some standard annotations even. Okay, even I have posted one Hibernate material. Validation API in Hibernate. You can just check it. Okay, browser side and server side. Okay, server side even recommended to have a strict programming checking here. Yeah, any date type, past and future, any date type, even calendar also. You can just see here, this jar we need to add validation API jar and Hibernate jar, both are required. Okay, this is given by Sun Microsystem, this is given by Hibernate. It's a specification, it's implementation. Okay, with just Hibernate example I have shown, material also there. Okay, hope I have shared this complete content before only. If you don't know, please download this one and practice. All PDFs. Okay, I'm just taking this one. Okay, one student asks, sir, why backend validations? Already we have front-end validations, right? Why this one? Remember, there will be multiple clients in the future going to come. Don't think only Angular. Later React.js comes, later some XYZ, any kind of client you can connect. Okay, because it's actually loosely coupled. Okay, it's not going to depend on completely UI. Okay, so once you develop a front end, okay, that may come from third-party channels, data may come from multiple possibilities. So checking it front end may or may not be done, but back-end validation must be done for a standard data insertion, only for a standard data insertion. Second thing, they asked, sir, is it not going to affect any performance? No. If you are making multiple database calls, it will affect performance. Okay. So if you are writing a huge logic, duplicated or repeated logic, something here, that will affect performance. This is a simple validation. Not even takes fraction of seconds even. Okay, it is not even going to take fraction of seconds here. Okay, now I'm just showing a confirmation checking here. Look at. Okay, I'm just running the application. First, Eureka server. Okay, next, config server. Admin server. Employee service. Gateway service. Go to localhost 8761. Okay, employee service and gateway service. Click on gateway service. Always take gateway URL. Go to Postman. Okay, so here I'm entering the URL, gateway IP and gateway port number, this one. Now your employee class level, that is a REST controller level paths, /employee. Okay, and /create. I'm trying to send the body, which is empty. Nothing I'm sending. Click on send button. See, it is saying post. Click on send button. Unsupported media type, it is saying just change it to JSON. Click on send button. Internal server, it is saying here. Constraint violation exception is occurred. Okay, you can see validation failed for this trace. You can just see here trace. Okay, if you see here, it's a lengthy message it is showing. Okay, but at last, if you just go, okay, there you will see some JSON object. Are you able to see? This is post, right? I cannot make it from browser. You can see some JSON object like this. That JSON property objects we are going to read and print. Copy and paste. It's a message. Validation failed for class employee. During persistent time, group like this. Constraint violations you can see here. Okay, this object, interpolation message it is showing here, must not be null. EMP department. I did not give any message. It's a default message. It is printing here. Okay. It is just showing like this messages. Must not be null, like that. Okay. We'll see for employee name also. Employee sal must not be null. This is a message. Okay. Interpolated messages we are going to read. All interpolated messages we are going to read and read. Okay, you can just see here. So Java x.validation.constraint.not null. Okay, these are all messages. This property interpolated messages we are going to read. Okay, message if you give, that is fine. If you don't give, okay, that is actually going to give some default message here. So here, now observe, here I'm just using request body, right? In case of, see, if we apply the constraints, it's not over generally. Okay, here if we apply the constraints, it's not over generally here. We need to write one annotation called @valid. That's actually going to do validation in Spring. But coming to Spring Boot, that is actually optional. If we just add this annotations and use @valid, we have to write like this actually, @valid. Okay, in the older versions it is required. In the latest versions we are using, okay, that is in Spring latest versions, it's not required, @valid. Okay, remember that point here. Some people might have seen this kind of annotation, then it is actually going to do validate, okay, at the time of reading the employee object. But in the latest version, it's not required. But I'm just giving that one, even. Look at carefully. We need to add @valid annotation to activate validation API in Spring, okay, but not in Boot. It is optional. Remember here. In Spring version, in Spring latest 5 version also, it's not required. Okay, up to Spring 4.x it is required, sir. In Spring, okay, Spring Boot latest versions, the Spring Boot almost 5.x only. Okay, Spring Boot versions optional, Spring 5.x version also optional. Okay, remember that. Okay, so in current Spring Boot optional, just remember. You can just check it, confirmation even. Maven dependencies, Spring Core or any dependency you see. Okay, Spring AOP or Spring Core. Spring Web MVC, you can see it's a 5.3 current version. Spring Test, all 5.3, Spring JAS, 5.3.114. Okay, so here this annotation is not required in Spring Boot, remember that. They may ask like here. So these are the validations applied here. Okay, we are going to connect it to UI and we are going to show the messages formats even by converting into your own format. Okay, let this be temporary. Okay, a small information I just want to give. tomorrow, okay, Saturday, right? We have no session. Tomorrow we have no session. Monday we have next session. Monday we'll start our project. Okay, I'll give some project overview and we'll do all the setup from beginning. Okay, Monday onwards I'll be taking some lengthy sessions for sure. Okay, so I have tomorrow some US client call. That's why I'm unable to take session tomorrow. Okay, so mostly in the middle of the week, even once I get, okay, I'm just going to, we are going to have a session on level 2 project also for sure. Definitely I'll take it once a day. We got actually here. Okay, we'll be having discussion with along with this project even. Don't worry, definitely I'll take it. Okay. Thank you for session. We'll continue on Monday class.